This is Module 2, Lesson 5. In this lesson, we'll be using addition and subtraction to solve multi-step word problems with metric measurements. And we're going to go right to some problems. The directions say to model each problem with a tape diagram and to solve an answer with a statement. All of these problems are multi-step, which means we're going to have to do more than one step in order to solve the problem. So let's do the first one together. The potatoes Beth bought weighed 3 kilograms, 420 grams. Her onions weighed 1,050 grams less than the potatoes. How much did the potatoes and onions weigh together? So we know that we need a total amount. That's going to be our unknown. And we know the potatoes, how much the potatoes weighed. 3 kilograms, 420 grams. And we need to know how much the onions weigh before we can figure out what the total is. So we're going to do a separate tape diagram to figure out what the onions weigh. So we know that the potatoes weighed 3 kilograms, 420 grams. And we know that the onions weigh less than the potatoes by 1,050 grams. So to find the weight of the onions, this tape diagram tells us we're going to need to do a subtraction. So let's take the total amount of the potatoes and write it as grams. And then the difference between the grams and the potatoes is 1,050. If we subtract here, we see the onions must weigh 2,370 grams, which we can now add into our original tape diagram. And the top tape diagram tells us that to get the total, we're going to have to add the two amounts. So let's write the amount of potatoes as grams. And we have the amount of the onions as grams. And we're going to add them together. And we get 5,790 grams, which we could also write as 5 kilograms, 790 grams. So to answer the question, together, they weighed 5 kilograms, 790 grams, or 5,790 grams. Okay, pause the video and try number 2 by yourself. Okay, so here we see Adele let out 18 meters and 46 centimeters of string to fly her kite. Then she let out 13 meters and 78 centimeters more. And then we see she reeled back in 590 centimeters. But before we can figure out how long the string was after reeling it back in, we need to figure out how much she let out. Again, this tape diagram shows us that we need to add to get a total. So we have 18 meters and 46 centimeters. And then we're going to add 13 meters and 78 centimeters. So if we add the centimeters first, we get 124 centimeters. And we know that this is equal to a meter. So when we add these together, we get 31. Plus this would be 32 meters, 24 centimeters. Then she's going to reel back in 590 centimeters. So our total now is the amount she let out. And she reeled back in 590 centimeters. And we want to know what's left. So this tells us we need to do subtraction. So if we rewrite our total amount here in centimeters, and we're going to subtract we're going to end up with 2,634 centimeters. So the string was 2,634 centimeters after reeling it in. Okay, stop the video, try number 3. Okay, so Cheyenne's barrel contained 6 liters and 755 milliliters of paint. Then she poured in another 1 liter, 118 milliliters. So to move forward, we need to get a total here of how much paint she had to start with. So let's write the first as all in milliliters. So we had 6,755 milliliters, and then she added 1,118 more. So she's had 7,873 milliliters of paint. Then we know that on the first day she used 2 liters and 125 milliliters of paint. So we can write that as 2,125 milliliters that she used on the second day, on the first day. So we can subtract to see how much she still had left. At the end of the second day, there were 1,769 milliliters left, and we want to know how much she used. So she started the second day with this total. So that's our total that she had when the second day started. At the end of the day, she had 1,769 milliliters left. So we want to know how much she used. So our tape diagram here tells us that if we have a total and a part and we need another part, we're going to need to subtract. So we're going to take the total she started the day with. We're going to subtract out what she had left at the end, and we'll see that what she started the day with. She had 3,999 milliliters when the day started. So, or that's what she used on the second day. 3,999 milliliters on the second day. Okay, stop the video and try number 4. All right, so we know on Thursday, the pizzeria used 2 kilograms and 800 grams less flour than they did on Friday. So if on Friday they used If on Friday they used 12 kilograms and 420 grams, and they used 2 kilograms, 180 grams on Thursday, we can figure out how much they used on Thursday by subtraction. So if we have 12 kilograms and 420 grams, and we have 2 kilograms and 180 grams, and we find the difference, this is what they used on Thursday. This is what they used on Friday. And then on Saturday, they used 1,888 grams more than on Friday. So we know what they used on Friday. 12 kilograms, 420 grams, plus the extra they used on Saturday. Added together will give us Saturday. So if we rewrite this all in grams, that tells us what they did on Saturday. And the question is, what was the total for the 3 days? So we have 10 kilograms, 240 grams for Thursday, plus 12 kilograms, 420 grams for Friday, plus 14 kilograms, 308 for Saturday. And if we add those all together, we get 36,428 grams, or 36 kilograms, 428 grams. Okay, pause the video and try number 5. Okay, so we know that Zachary's tank can hold a total of 60 liters. He adds 23 liters, 825 milliliters to the tank. It already had 2,050 milliliters in it. So how much more can he add to the tank? So to do this, we need to find out what's already in the tank, which is these first two amounts. So let's write them both in milliliters and add them together. So together there's 25 liters, 855 milliliters. And we have one part now, and we have a total, and we need to find another part, so we need to subtract. So we have 60 liter capacity. We have 25 liters, 855 milliliters already in there. So in order to do the subtraction, we need to take 1 liter and rewrite it as milliliters. And we do the subtraction, and we have 34 liters, 125 milliliters, which would also be 34,125 milliliters. So Zachary can put 34 liters, 125 milliliters, or 34,125 milliliters more gas in his tank. Okay, pause the video and try number 6. All right, we know a giraffe is 5 meters, 20 centimeters tall. And we know that an elephant is 1 meter, 77 centimeters shorter than the giraffe. So if we make the giraffe our total, and we know that 1 meter, 77 centimeters is how much shorter the elephant is than the giraffe, then this would be the elephant, which we're trying to find out. So this tape diagram tells us that we need to subtract. So we start with the height of the giraffe, and we're going to subtract out the difference. So to do the subtraction, we're going to have to rename one of the meters as centimeters, 100 centimeters. So now we can subtract. So the elephant is 3 meters, 43 centimeters. Then the last thing we know is that the rhinoceros is shorter than the elephant. So again, if we make the elephant the total, and we know that the rhinoceros is 1 meter, 58 centimeters shorter than the elephant, then what's left would be the rhinoceros. So we're going to subtract 3 meters, 43 centimeters, the height of the elephant, subtract out the difference, and again, in order to do the subtraction, we're going to have to take one of the meters and turn it into centimeters, and now we can subtract. So the height of the rhinoceros is 1 meter and 35 centimeters, or 185 centimeters. And that ends lesson 5.